Alright, first battle, and these are all replays, just so everyone knows. I'm gonna show all battles in a part of a week, in one episode. So here's the first battle. Primeape Snorlax lead. Primeape gets scary face immediately, not really doing anything because Snorlax is already slow. Mystical Fire is lowering Snorlax's not great special attack, while Snorlax immediately uses a special attack. And then Primeape gets Torment. I did this battle as well as watched this battle twice, and I still get amazed that they got Torment. So now Snorlax has to struggle every other turn. Primeape does nothing with Spirit Shackle, while Snorlax uses Speed Swap. So now Snorlax will go fast first, and Primeape will be able to take the KO with Pin Missile. This is a great start for Team 1, and Primeape gets KO'd by Smart Strike from Togetic. Galarian Slowking comes out and gets nailed by a Sludge Bomb, which does not do that much, but then uses Dream Eater, which does not affect Togetic because you have to be asleep. Icicle Crash flinches Slowking, and then Final Gambit KOs Togetic, nearly also KOing Galarian Slowking. That's explosion number 1. Yes, I said explosion number 1. There are more explosions in this battle. Sableye comes out, and it raises its speed, but Weavile still outspeeds and gets Rollout, a move that gets 2 times as powerful as the last turn for 5 turns as long as it hits. Grimmsnarl comes out through Baton Pass and gets Withdraw, and then Synthesis. Oh my goodness. He recovered the little health. He used Double Team. Oh my goodness. And now Weavile can't do anything about it because it has to recharge. And it just got trapped. This Grimmsnarl is cracked. Grimmsnarl uses Amnesia. Solar Blade. Not going to do much because of 1.5 times defense. Side Shield Bash does not affect Weavile. 31% is still good. Still good damage. Work Up. Oh my goodness. This is why I didn't give Grimmsnarl a Prankster. Misty Explosion. Explosion number 2. Grimmsnarl then used Circle Throw to send Alcremie back and Iron Valiant in. And then uses Low Kick. Tar Shot to lower speed and make it more weak to fire. Does not do anything because Iron Valiant just tries to lick Grimmsnarl. Twister does not affect Iron Valiant. I keep on forgetting that Twister is a dragon move and not a flying move. Noble Roar lowers attack and special attack, but attack gets raised back to ×1 because of shift gear. And Acrobatics does good damage, but Assurance does not do enough. And Grimmsnarl heals himself back up with Machigacha. Alcremie tries to use Aurora Veil, but it doesn't work. Grimmsnarl does not need to boost his defenses anymore. Blood Moon. That's great. The only stat that doesn't have a stat change, basically. But Flamethrower deals super effective damage because of Tar Shot. And Grimmsnarl had to eat his Lepa Berry. Oh my goodness. Alright, now it's only NDD versus Grimmsnarl. And Grimmsnarl gets Slack Off. And NDD no longer has a Lepa Berry. That's great. Well, this Grimmsnarl looks like it's never gonna go down. Unfortunately. It proceeds to KO itself with Healing Wish to heal Sableye back up. It just wasted all those stat boosts to heal its partner back up. Alright. NDD uses Discharge, which deals a lot of damage. Sand Tomb also deals a lot more damage than it should have. But Sableye goes down, making Sand Tomb go away. And Jirachi comes in to not finish the fight because it uses Conspore. Oh, Blast Burn. Oh my. A little overdone, NDD. But Jirachi comes in to finish the fight with Iron Head. So, I think it's pretty clear who the MVP of this battle is. Grimmsnarl. I think it's pretty clear why. Alright, so the next battle we have is between the Calm Celebes, I think that's their name, and the Screamtail Saints. Let's start. Machamp Gengar lead, with Gengar immediately using its high special attack with the Water Pledge, and Machamp conquers with Fusion Flare. Gengar uses Wish, but that's not gonna... Prismatic Laser? Wish isn't gonna be much use because Machamp now has to recharge because of Prismatic Laser. And Machamp gets sent back into its Pokeball and be replaced by Screamtail, which is not doing very much. Brick Break from Celebi also is not going to do much. But Fire Lash does a decent amount, though not very high for a super effective move. And Celebi gets the burn on Screamtail. Screamtail uses Burning Bulwark, and Celebi tries to use a contact move, so it gets burned. Next up is Seismic Toss, which does not change power based on burn, so that's useful. Next up from Screamtail is Triple Kick, a fighting move, which is resisted and physical. Well, Celebi is about to faint, so Volt Switch does not KO it, but will feint to burn this turn. And there it goes. Out comes Magmortar, I don't know how to pronounce it. And Mud Slap, that's not very strong. And neither is Ice Beam against a fire type. There's a second triple kick. And Water Spout would do a lot more if Hariyama was more healed. Magmortar apparently is also Giratina because it can use Shadow Force. Meanwhile, Hariyama's probably just like a Bidoof because it's using Growl. Yay. Crush Claw. That does a lot. Drill Peck nearly gets the KO, but it doesn't. But Triple Dive misses. That might be the end for Hariyama. Yep. And out next is Screamtail. Screamtail comes back in and sets up spikes. Interesting. First impression doesn't work, and that leaves Screamtail to Eruption, a fire type not at full HP. Infestation. That's another move that deals constant damage at the end of turns. I don't think Grassy Terrain's gonna save Screamtail though, through Burn and Infestation. I don't know how. My brain is being wonky today. But Sucker Punch doesn't work on metronome, I'm pretty sure. Aeroblast. Oh my goodness. That's insane. Lucario uses disarming voice. Gallade counters with Temper Flare, dealing nearly 2/3 of Lucario's health. Lucario counters with Dragon Darts and gets a crit. And resists Ice Hammer. If Lucario was pure fighting, Lucario would have been dead there. Psych Up, lowered speed. That's great. Parting Shot. Nice switch out. Alright, Mr. Rhyme uses Heart Swap to swap stat changes. Grass Pledge, though, does a Worry Seed. And that's the end for Lucario. Alright, next out is Florges, who immediately starts by KOing itself. Wow. Alright, Machamp comes back out and poisons Mr. Rhyme. And Mr. Rhyme misses a sheer cold. That's annoying. Tri-Attack does not do very much because of Mr. Rhyme's minus special attack. Next out is Gallade again. But it's nearly KO'd, so all it needs is one attack. And Machamp does not get that attack. He gets Stun Spore. Even through paralysis, Gallade outspeeds. Oh, if Gallade can hit itself in confusion, Gallade will faint. And now it's all up to Tinkaton to defeat Berserker and a weakened Machamp. Sing misses Machamp, and Machamp retaliates by missing Poison Powder, which would not have affected Tinkaton anyways. Tickle lowers attack and defense. Let's see if that really matters. It does. Physical attack immediately after. Sludge doesn't KO, but it gets really close, kind of. Charge Beam still doesn't KO Machamp. And Machamp counters with Kowtow Cleave, but it doesn't do very much. Tinkaton tries to Metal Burst, but it can't use Metal Burst. And Machamp uses Dragon Hammer, which doesn't affect, leaving Tinkaton to use Lunge to KO. Berserker versus Tinkaton. Tinkaton immediately gets a super effective move, while Berserker immediately burns it. Tinkaton uses Thunder Wave to paralyze Berserker, but I think Burn is more valuable to have than Paralysis. Clear Smog doesn't affect Berserker either. Mega Horn doesn't do very much because it's quad resisted, but I don't think that's going to change the result. It's still 16% to 52%. It does not. GG. This was a hard one to come up with an MVP for, but I came up with Machamp just because of the Fusion Flare and getting multiple KOs. Alright, on to the next battle. For the third battle, we have the Magical Muse versus the intimidating Iron Hands. Let's start. The leads are Hypno and Togekiss. Surrendering Togekiss could be annoying. They start with being more bulky, and Hypno starts with recoil, and then less accuracy. I can already tell this isn't gonna go great. Togekiss uses Ivy Cudgel, and Hypno counters Reflect. Now, immediately a physical move. That's amazing. Now, yeah, that's something you'll see a lot. I didn't know it was this early, but there are a lot of switching moves in this. Hypno just spoke, making his defense even higher. Track doesn't work on Muse. And Mew switches out to Togekiss. So now Togekiss is back out, and the Reflect is up. And Togekiss uses Outrage and avoids an extrasensory, but does not dodge a Double Edge. Hypno got both Takedown and Double Edge. Togekiss starts with Icicle Crash on Ludicolo, and Ludicolo uses Rain Dance. Togekiss hits itself in confusion, and Ludicolo gets Electro Shot. Oh my goodness. It's like it was planning. Because for those of you who don't know, Electro Shot immediately it ignores the charging if it's in rain. It's just electric type Solar Beam with rain. Mew uses Withdraw to boost its defense, which won't do much if Ludicolo manages to use that special attack, which it does not. Unfortunately. Out comes Bayonet, and Mew hits an Inferno, which I'm surprised about because that's 50% accurate. Mew's ability gets changed to Simple. Not great. Tries to use Hard Press, but would have done more damage if Bayonet had more HP. And Bayonet heals up. They switch out. Dragonite uses Crush Claw, but it doesn't affect Bayonet. Bayonet uses Fire Fang. And it burns Dragonite. Dragonite uses Psy Strike. Oh, and Rain Dance is back up. Because of course it is. Oh, Bayonet's going to faint from poison this turn. And Dragonite gets hit by Spatial Rend. Electivire comes out and uses Mystical Power, which are the Lake Guardian signature moves. We're seeing a lot of signature moves in this battle. Electivire tries to heal the fainted Pokemon, but sorry, Electivire, Heal Bell doesn't work that way. Dragonite's Metronome got disabled. Not that it matters because Electivire immediately KOs him next turn. But disabling Metronome is one of the best things that you can do in Metronome battles. Because then you can make sure that it's always going to have to use Struggle. Electivire goes down, and now it's a 4v2. Poltegeist comes in and immediately goes out. Infernape uses Fine Whip. And then gets switched out to Mew. So many switch outs. Mew falls asleep to Spore. And Iron Hand gets Vine Whip again. Goodness gracious. Mew gets Vacuum Wave. And Iron Hands gets Mighty Cleave. Oh, Iron Hands falls asleep. Mew uses Bite. One turn Wake Up but flinched. Mew uses Triple Axle, which does not do very much. Iron Hands uses Aurora Beam. Second time we've seen that today. Mew gets Frost Breath and has to eat its Leppa Berry. Facade from Iron Hands does a lot. Quick Attack does not do a lot. Pollen Puff does do a lot because it's super effective. Infernape comes out and uses Fire Pledge to finish off Iron Hands. Will Poltegeist be able to clutch this up? Charm from Infernape lowers Poltegeist's attack, and Poltegeist disables Infernape. Infernape feigns to struggle, and Poltegeist tries to use Leech Life. Annihilate comes out and uses Flamethrower. Poltegeist counters with Ice Beam, getting a critical hit. Annihilate tries to use Echoed Voice, but will not work. Poltegeist gets Icicle Crash. Annihilate gets Feather Dance, so now Poltegeist is doing nothing. Sand Tomb will do constant damage to Annihilate. Annihilate gets Swords Dance. Poltegeist tries to belly its drum its belly, but it doesn't work. And Annihilate goes down to Psy Strike. Will Poltegeist clutch up for its team? Extreme Speed deals 3% damage. And Slowbro is going to take like 1 damage from his Skull attacks now. And Slowbro takes down Poltegeist. With all the switching around, I don't think that anyone deserves to be MVP of this game. I didn't really see anyone that stood out, except maybe for that 50% Inferno, but that doesn't really matter. And let's go to the final battle. Alright, it's time for the final battle of the first episode. Here we go. It's a Golduck Hitmonlee lead. Hitmonlee outspeeds Golduck to use Mystical Fire on a water type with low special attack. Great start. Oh, Hitmonlee immediately goes for Wood Hammer after that, realizing its mistake. Hitmonlee then uses Endeavor on Poliwrath. That's insane. Poliwrath tries using Swallow, but it doesn't work. Hitmonlee then misses Icy Wind, and Poliwrath uses Pluck to get rid of the Leppa Berry. Hitmonlee uses Shadow Force, and Poliwrath tries to use Metal Sound, but you can't hit someone in an alternate dimension. Poliwrath uses Roost. Hitmonlee uses Assurance, and Poliwrath counters with Milk Drink. Hitmonlee uses Light Screen, and Poliwrath uses Flame Wheel. Poliwrath then hits Azumarill with Petal Blizzard, and Azumarill misses Sandsteer's Storm because it can't pick up a Sandstorm. Poliwrath then uses Flamethrower, and Azumarill uses Tea Time to cause both of them to eat their berries. Poliwrath uses Headlong Rush, and Azumarill counters with Shadow Force again. Poliwrath tries to use Fiery Dance, but like before, you can't hit someone in an alternate dimension. Poliwrath then uses Triple Arrows, and Politoed gets sent out. Politoed uses Mountain Gale. I actually have no idea what Mountain Gale does. Poliwrath uses Dragon Hammer twice in a row. And Politoed uses Mud Slap. Great. Politoed tries to use Ally Switch, but it isn't a double battle, so it doesn't work. And Poliwrath hits a Thunder, and finally goes down to her Hammer Arm. Alakazam comes out and uses Dark Pulse. Grumpig then is going to come in for Politoed and use Blast Burn. Oh my goodness. Ceaseless Edge doesn't take advantage of the lowered special defense that Grumpig has. But Alakazam does hit Ceaseless Edge and Mega Horn. So now, not only is Grumpig low, he also has spikes up. And Grumpig is setting up its evasion. So Alakazam misses a Teeter Dance, and Grumpig hits it with Scald. Alakazam uses Terra Blast, and Mesprit comes in. Alakazam uses Bite, and Mesprit counters with Hyper Beam. Muck comes in, Mesprit recharges, and Muck uses Disable. Mesprit can't use Metronome anymore. Temper Flare hits Mesprit for a good amount of damage, but Mesprit is just going to KO itself next turn, or not. Alright, Inteleon comes in. This is the final Pokemon. And misses Dragon Rush. Muck uses Skitter Smack to lower its special attack. Inteleon uses Darkest Lariat, but Muck uses Blood Moon. Inteleon tries to use Razor Leaf, but that's not going to do anything for a poison type. Muck uses Ice Shard, which does not KO Inteleon. But then Muck uses Guard Swap. Inteleon uses Floral Healing on Muck. So now Muck is healed, basically to full. Inteleon uses Lash Out, and Muck takes down Inteleon with a Wave Crash. So that means that the Dancing Diancies win 3-0. Now, you might think that Muck got MVP because of that amazing show he put on, but I actually decided on Poliwrath, just for the fact that he managed to get 2 recovery moves in a row and basically managed to heal him back up to full on his own, with no help from the other team. That is amazing. He also KO'd 2 Pokemon. That's just great. Alright, well, that's it for the battles. And here are the standings after week 1, part 1. The week 1, part 2 video is going to be coming out with this one.